I just want you to read this. This is what Parole said. During his time in federal jail, Sanderson participated in programming and cultural activities and engaged with elders. The record showed. He was reported to have made gains. He's in prison, guys. Made gains. Of course he made gains. There's no liquor stores in prison. You have nothing but to gain. That's why you stay there and you serve your punishment. You serve your time. In February 2021, he was transferred to a healing lodge. He was freed in August. No, he was freed in February because he went to a healing lodge. Now remember that. Remember this article? Inmates face high rates of COVID-19 in federal prisons. We got to get them out of there. Remember, I did a whole video on it. An article basically says the reason why they're in jail is because of racism. Maybe that's who we blame. Racism. This happened because of racism. The Congress of Aboriginal Peoples called on Public Safety Minister Marco Mendocino to speed up the release of low-risk offenders and those on remand to limit the spread of the highly transmissible Omicron variant, because it's killing so many people, in federal prisons. During the first wave, you got to hear this, of the pandemic, Bill Blair announced the release of hundreds of inmates. Is that why this happened? They wanted inmates to be released. Alex Cohen, a spokesperson for Mendocino, which means it's Mendocino, said in a statement, "We are making efforts to reduce systemic racism in the justice system. These include culturally appropriate approaches to indigenous corrections and funding to support the reintegration of previously incarcerated indigenous peoples." Now, those words I just said earlier, do you see where this is going? Correctional Service, the Parole Board of Canada continued to process eligible inmates for release in accordance with the law and the public safety being the paramount consideration. Right. These guys are being told by the government officials and experts to release people from jail, from prison. Dr. Ivan Zinger, Crackerjack, Canada's chief correctional officer, calls upon the federal and provincial government to commit to reducing the overall number of indigenous peoples in custody at least 5% by 2022. It's no wonder he was out of jail. They don't want them in jail. They want them out. So before you blame the parole board, maybe we should be blaming the real people, the idiots in charge. Cohen, Mendocino are including culturally appropriate approaches to indigenous corrections. Healing lodge. That's what they're talking about. They released this kid to a healing lodge. Yeah, you get out of jail. Do you promise to go to a healing lodge? Okay, perfect. Their idea. Funding to support reintegration of previously incarcerated indigenous peoples. Didn't work, did it? Why not just keep them in jail, guys? 59 convictions. If you're in the United States of America, you wouldn't see the light of day. So what is safer? Canada or America? Because if this Sanderson lived in America, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to kill that many people. There would still be 10 people alive if he lived in America. So is America really all that bad? Canada, you're so woke. Blame our system. Blame them who make the system. Police bang their heads against the wall constantly because Crown won't go with the charge, or the judge releases them or throws the charge out. And it's these nut bars, these government officials, that are making up the laws in the systems that don't work. They don't work. This guy was bad through and through. Should have had life in prison a long time ago. It's racist to keep him in there. Yeah, look at this one. Hundreds of inmates quietly released from federal prisons over COVID-19 fears, Blair. Minister Mendocino launches a federal framework to reduce recidivism. The framework will also help address another major issue in Canada's criminal justice system, the overrepresentation of indigenous peoples, because there's too many in jail. It has nothing to do with them committing the crimes, right? They're not doing that, right? They're not actually committing crimes. Could that not be a reason for an overrepresentation? Why do we keep on talking about the police are racist? That's why. The system's racist. That's why. Why don't we ever really try to fix the problem? Look into the culture. Could it be something else maybe? Why is this guy let out? And what does Mark Mendocino say about this now? It appears he was all for releasing them, having another idea, like a healing center. What do you say about it now? He's not going to take the blame, right? I'm sure he's going to blame somebody else, right? I want to know the reason behind the decision to release him. No, it had nothing to do with you. I'm extremely concerned with what occurred here. It's people like you, dude, who are too lax, too woke, too liberal. You've been working to release them, and you want to know the reasons behind it? Idiot! It's fundamentally wrong. Yeah, it is, Marco. I am assured the Parole Board of Canada will be undertaking an investigation of the decision. Maybe it'll come back to you. Mark Mendocino wants you to believe it's the Parole Board. That's who to blame. Maybe we should just blame Trudeau for not banning knives. If you enjoyed that short bag of dicks, you can watch the full episode right here.
What's that?